Vinyl siding is a broad topic, so it would depend on what kind of vinyl siding we're talking about. One thing I like about vinyl siding is it's come a long way. So what used to be obvious vinyl siding, and I might have even thought of it as, back when I was growing up, a lot of the trailers or a lot of smaller homes would have vinyl siding, and that's just night and day different nowadays. And with the manufacturing process and the research and development that's gone into the materials that they use, you can get vinyl siding that looks enough like Hardie or LP or wood products that you can't tell a difference. Now, if you get right up next to it and you poke around at it and things like that, you can tell that you're not dealing necessarily with a fiber cement product or a wood product, but they've really come a long way, and they can look great. The cost of vinyl siding on a home, 1,500 square foot home, again, depending on what type of vinyl you're getting, and thickness is important, whether or not it has foam backing and insulation, the profile that you select, which is the shape, basically, or the different shapes that they come in. But standard vinyl siding on a 1,500 square foot home is probably going to run you anywhere from $12,500 at the low end to $17,500 for the more premium stuff. So we have actually ran into stuff as bad as that, but for the most part, what you're going to run into is wood rot. We do our siding systems the same way we do with our roofing systems, which is we're going to take everything off down to the substrate, which with siding would be, the bare wall on the outside, and sometimes we find that substrate is missing. So that one is probably the most common big thing outside of extensive wood rot, where if you have to put new OSB or plywood around your entire home because it was studs and you can see the insulation and then the siding was installed previously, or sometimes there's some products, it's like a foam product that's back there, and so you can't tell it doesn't have a solid substrate, but once you get it all torn off, you're looking at open studs. That can be costly, and so we try to do everything we can to try to identify that ahead of time, but that's probably one of the biggest one, fairly rare. And then outside of that, it would be wood rot. So you get all the siding off. If there's house wrap or whatever's in the way, again, we want to go down to a clean slate, solid substrate, and then work back from there with the new siding system. So we'll run into wood rot if you have, and typically why you're replacing your siding is because you've had some leaks or noticed some wood rot on the outside. And so typically that means there's going to be some damage on the inside as well. So replacing that is probably the most common, what we call a change order or additional work order. It's the wood rot we can't see. It's fairly common. It's usually fairly minimal. It's typically not something that's thousands of dollars. There's usually a few $100s probably in wood rot. But other than that, really, with a vinyl siding system, it's what you want out of the vinyl siding system that might add. So if you want things that look like wood shakes or scallops in different areas, or you want to change up the look, there's vinyl solutions that look like stone. Those are all a little bit more costly attributes or accents, and those aren't uncommon. But you would typically know that going in.